The moment I saw the suitcases in the hallway, I knew my life had quietly slipped out of my hands. They were big, black, standing side by side like they belonged there, like they had always been part of the plan. My fingers tightened around my keys until the metal bit into my skin. The grocery bags cut into my arm, but I didn't move. The air smelled wrong, too sweet, too heavy. Marianne's perfume. The same one that gave me headaches every Sunday, without fail. A coat I didn't recognize hung over my entryway bench. My bench. The one I'd spent weeks choosing. And from the living room came the unmistakable roar of a sports channel turned up far too loud, making the walls vibrate. "Hope you don't mind," Marianne said cheerfully. She appeared from the kitchen wearing my apron, wiping her hands on it like she owned the place. Her smile was polite, practiced. "Empty. We thought we'd stay a few nights," she continued. "Daniel's back is acting up again, and it's just easier than driving back and forth." I stood there, frozen, my heart sinking inch by inch. "A few nights," I repeated, my voice too high. "Just until Wednesday," she said, waving it off. "Ethan said it was totally fine." Of course he did. "My name is Claire. I'm 34 years old. I'm a product designer. And this is the story of how my home, my sanctuary, was taken from me slowly, politely, one small intrusion at a time. That house was supposed to be our reward. For 3 years, I worked from a fold-out desk wedged into our bedroom, juggling deadlines while cleaning around Ethan's tools and laundry piles. When we finally moved into the house in Ridgewood Hills, it felt like a deep breath after holding it too long. Sunlight flooded the breakfast nook every morning. I had my own office. There was even a small spare room I planned to turn into a yoga and meditation space. Ethan had built the house through his firm. He obsessed over every detail, every beam, every tile. And I was proud of him. I really was. The first time his parents visited, I told myself it was normal discomfort. Daniel criticized our countertops. Marianne commented on my lighting choices like she was hosting a renovation show. I smiled. I laughed. I let it go. They won't be here often, I told myself. Then it became every Sunday. "Oh, we were just in the area. It's easier if we eat here. Less cleanup for us." They never asked. They arrived. Daniel took over the TV, sports blasting at a volume that rattled frames. Marianne hovered in the kitchen, questioning every ingredient. "You don't use garlic powder?" she once asked, staring at me like I'd admitted to something shameful. "I prefer fresh garlic," I said lightly. She tilted her head, suspicious. Ethan kissed her cheek and told her she looked great. He never noticed I was cooking for 5 instead of 2. Cleaning for 5. Hosting for 5. While still trying to prep for Monday meetings. The spare room, the one meant for calm, slowly became theirs. "Your couch hurts Daniel's back," Marianne explained one Sunday. "The guest bed is better for his posture." What was I supposed to say? Stop visiting your son? So I swallowed it. All of it. Until the resentment settled in my chest like a quiet, constant pressure. I began to dread the sound of tires in our driveway. One night after they left, I finally said something. "Maybe next weekend could just be us?" Ethan looked genuinely confused. "What do you mean?" "It's been a lot," I said carefully. "I'd love one Sunday without commentary on my cooking." He laughed. "They mean well, Claire. You're overthinking it." Of course I was. The real crack came a week later. I casually mentioned that my parents might stay one night next month. One night. Ethan froze. "Overnight?" "Yes. Just one," I said. "We could cook together. Keep it simple." He made a face like I'd suggested an audit. "Your dad makes me feel like I'm in a job interview. And your mom, I'd have to be on." "On," I repeated. Polite. Careful. I set the knife down harder than necessary. "So, being decent?" "Don't twist it," he said defensively. "They're not as easygoing as my parents." That was when I realized something terrifying. My comfort didn't even register. So when I came home and found those suitcases blocking the hallway, something inside me shifted. Upstairs, The guest room smelled like menthol cream and cheap aftershave. The bed was unmade. Slippers by the door. A silk robe over the chair. At dinner, Marian asked if I could switch laundry detergent. Daniel complained about the shower pressure. Ethan ate quietly, like nothing had changed. That night, I stared at the ceiling, listening to footsteps that didn't belong to me. Between midnight and 2 a.m., I understood my choices clearly for the first time. Stay quiet, or take my life back. I reached for my phone and texted one person. Lena, do you still have that guest room? The reply came instantly. Always. I didn't have a plan yet, but I was done being invisible. And that was only the beginning. By morning, I had perfected the art of disappearing without leaving. I made Ethan's coffee exactly how he liked it, extra hot, a splash of oat milk, and set it on the counter. I didn't make one for myself. He didn't notice. Marianne was already in the kitchen, wearing my robe like it belonged to her. Claire, she said sweetly, do you have any chamomile tea that isn't so floral? My stomach's a bit off. I opened the cabinet, handed her the box, and walked away without smiling. Daniel shuffled in moments later, yawned loudly, and turned on the TV. Volume. Unforgivable. I'd never felt like a guest in my own home before, but now my movements were careful, smaller. Like I might disturb someone more important than me. By Tuesday night, Ethan mentioned, casually, almost lazily, that his parents would stay through the weekend. Just easier, he said. No point in packing twice. They've already been here 5 days, I replied. It's temporary, he said, not meeting my eyes. Temporary. That word had lost all meaning. That night, I tried to work from my office. Or what used to be my office. Marianne's craft supplies covered the desk. Daniel's golf clubs leaned against the wall, like silent guards. I ended up sitting cross-legged on the bedroom floor, laptop balanced on the bed, while Marianne folded laundry beside me. Daniel opened the door without knocking. Where's the HDMI cable? TV stand drawer, I said without looking up. After he left, Marianne smiled at me. You work very late. It's quieter at night. You should think about boundaries, she said, fluffing a towel. Work-life balance is important. I nearly laughed. The next day, they went to brunch without inviting me. I stayed home, alone for once. I called Lena. You sound like someone 5 seconds from lighting a match, she said. I'm close. Come stay here. It's not that simple. She paused. Then her voice dropped. Then don't make it simple. Make it strategic. Strategic. The words settled into place. Remember that moving company my cousin runs? She asked. I think we can help your in-laws feel more settled. I smiled for the first time in days. I'll make a call. That night, I told Ethan my aunt had fallen and broken her wrist. She lived alone. She needed help. I'll be gone a few days, I said. He barely looked up from his phone. Driving or flying? Driving. Okay. Drive safe. Marian asked if I'd pre-made meals. I don't want to mess up your system, she said with a wink. I packed one small bag. Before I left, I placed a single envelope on the nightstand. Inside was a handwritten note. I'll be gone for a while. If you need space, now you have it. I didn't feel guilty. Lena opened her door with a bottle of wine and a look that said finally. Her apartment was small but quiet. No footsteps. No commentary. No one touching my things. I slept. I worked. I breathed. Ethan called the next morning. I let it ring. Then texted. Missed the last train. Staying another day. Then another. On the 5th day, according to plan, a moving truck pulled into our driveway. Marian saw it first. Oh. They must be delivering something for Claire. 2 movers stepped out, carrying boxes labeled Harris, master bedroom. She opened the door, confused. Excuse me? Sunrise relocation. One said, handing her a clipboard. We're here to move in furniture. Address matches. You're the Harrises. Daniel stepped forward. Yes. That's us. And just like that, my quiet revenge walked through the door. A mattress. Dressers. A recliner. Boxes of cookware. This must be a mistake. Daniel said weakly. The mover pointed to the manifest. Delivery for Daniel and Marianne Harris. New residents. By the time Ethan came home, the guest room was fully rearranged. Their clothes filled the closet. A small label had been added beneath our names on the mailbox. What the hell is going on? He demanded. Marian beamed. Isn't it wonderful? Claire said we could stay while she's away. Ethan found the envelope. Opened it again, as if it might say something different. It didn't. He called me. I didn't answer. He texted. We need to talk. 3 hours later, I replied. You're busy hosting. Hope it's going well. That night, I ate dinner in silence, watched a movie, slept until 9. For the first time in weeks, no one woke me. But I knew, deep down, this calm wouldn't last. Because once people get comfortable taking from you, they don't let go easily. And Ethan was about to learn exactly what I had been carrying alone. The first week without me, Ethan tried to pretend everything was under control. He texted like someone performing confidence rather than feeling it. Got it handled. You'll see. 2 days later, he sent a photo of a half-burned lasagna. Chef Ethan in action. I didn't reply. By the second week, the messages changed. Do you know where the vacuum bags are? The washer smells weird. Is that normal? Your mom's roast chicken recipe. Where did you save it? I read them quietly on Lena's couch, wine in hand. My body relaxed in a way it hadn't been for months. Amazing, Lena said, peeking at my phone. How fast it's not a big deal becomes help me. Meanwhile, Marian called. Every other day. I ignored her until curiosity got the better of me. Claire, sweetheart, she said, syrupy as ever. Are you planning to come back soon? Why? I asked. Well, we were under the impression this was temporary. So was I. She paused. Ethan seemed stressed. He misses you. I didn't say what I was thinking, that Ethan was finally living inside my old reality. The noise, the pressure, the total lack of privacy. 3 days later, he texted again. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how much you were juggling. Then, as if he couldn't help himself. But they're my parents. I can't kick them out. That sentence told me everything I needed to know. I emailed him a separation agreement the next morning. Not divorce. Not yet. Just a line, clear and firm. The house. The boundaries. The terms. The land title was in my name alone. Something Ethan had insisted didn't matter back when everything was ours. Now it mattered. He called immediately. What is this? His voice shook. A boundary, I said calmly. In writing. You're really doing this over a couple weekends? It was never just weekends. Silence. I can't afford the house on my own, he finally admitted. I know. Are you asking me to leave? No. I'm saying if they stay, I don't. He tried. For 2 more weeks. He asked his mother to cook. She refused. Asked his father to fix the dishwasher. He ignored it. Dirty dishes piled up. Takeout containers stacked in the sink. Ethan started eating out. Then overdrafted our joint account. I froze the card. When he called, furious, I answered calmly. You're not entitled to money I'm not using, I said. We're separated. You froze the account. I moved my direct deposit. You should too. That was when he said it. Maybe we should sell the house. That's your choice, I replied. But I get first right of refusal. He hung up. A week later, I got the alert. Our house was listed online. The photos hurt more than I expected. The living room cluttered with mismatched furniture. Sticky notes on cabinets reading, "Do not touch." Laundry piled on the guest bed. It looked like a home that had forgotten itself. Lena leaned over my shoulder. That looks like a bachelor pad supervised by parents. I laughed. And then I didn't. The house sold fast. Below market value. Motivated seller. I didn't buy it back. I didn't need to. I found a small rental townhouse with a balcony and a deep bathtub. No surprise guests. No Sunday dread. 6 months later, I ran into a mutual friend at a cafe. How's Ethan? I asked. She hesitated. Living with his parents. It's a lot. I nodded. It always was. Lena and I toasted one night while packing her boxes. Any regrets? She asked. Yes, I said honestly. Not leaving sooner. The divorce papers were already filed. The house was gone. The weight was gone. I hadn't just left a building. I had left a pattern. And when Marianne called months later, asking to just talk, I deleted the message without listening. Because sometimes peace doesn't come with closure. Sometimes it sounds like silence. And sometimes it feels like waking up alone in your own home and finally breathing. The quiet didn't arrive all at once. At first, it felt unnatural, like a ringing in my ears after a loud concert. I kept expecting something to interrupt it. A knock. A comment. A demand disguised as concern. But nothing came. My new townhouse was small, almost modest compared to the house in Ridgewood Hills. No soaring ceilings. No dramatic staircase. Just a narrow balcony with a rusted railing, a deep bathtub that actually stayed warm, and walls that didn't echo other people's expectations. The first night there, I slept with the windows open. No television noise. No footsteps. No one clearing their throat outside my door. I woke up the next morning and realized something startling. I wasn't bracing myself for the day. My shoulders weren't tight. My jaw didn't ache. I made coffee and drank it slowly, standing barefoot in the kitchen, sunlight hitting my hands. This was what space felt like. Ethan tried a few more times. Nothing dramatic. No apologies big enough to mean anything. Just small, tired messages that carried the weight of inconvenience rather than understanding. We should talk. I miss you. This didn't have to go this far. I read them without anger. Because the truth was, it had gone exactly as far as it always was going to. When the divorce finalized, I didn't cry. I signed the papers at Lena's dining table, my laptop open, a candle burning beside me. It's done, the lawyer said gently. I closed the screen and exhaled. Done. Weeks passed. Then months. I started hosting brunch again, my kind. Friends on the balcony. Soft music. Food that didn't need commentary. No one rearranging my cabinets or asking why I didn't do things the proper way. I visited my parents without guilt. I worked normal hours. I stopped apologizing for taking up space. One afternoon, while unpacking the last box, I found the yoga mat I'd bought for that spare room I never got to have. I rolled it out anyway. The floor wasn't perfect. The light wasn't dramatic. But it was mine. I ran into Ethan once more, unexpectedly, at a hardware store of all places. He looked older. Tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. Hey, he said, unsure. Hey. He shifted his weight. I didn't realize how much you carried. I nodded. I know. There was nothing else to say. Understanding that comes too late doesn't change the damage, it only explains it. The last time Marianne tried to reach me, it was a voicemail. Her voice was softer than I remembered. Almost uncertain. Claire, I was hoping we could meet. Just coffee. No pressure. I stared at my phone for a long moment. Then I deleted it. Not out of anger. Out of clarity. Some doors don't need slamming. Some bridges don't need burning. Some stories end quietly, because they've already said everything they needed to say. On a Sunday morning not long after, I woke up late. The kind of late that used to make me anxious. I lay there listening to nothing. No dread. No countdown. No obligation. Just me. And for the first time in years, my home didn't feel like something I had to defend. It felt like rest. Real rest. I hadn't just reclaimed a house, or even my independence. I had reclaimed my voice. And this time, no one was going to take it from me again.